Hello, Webb families. Thanks for tuning in to our videos. I have Susie and Ken with me today, and we're going to talk a little bit about balance in an online learning environment and mastering your schedule. So again, my name is Jennifer Liu. I graduated from Webb in 2005, and I'm the Director of Parent Relations and Special Events. So to get us started, I'm going to hand it over to Susie. Tell us a little bit about what she does at Webb.
Hi everyone, I'm Susie Lindsley. I'm the Director of Experiential Learning here at Webb, and then I also teach in the Humanities Department.
Hi everybody, I'm Ken Rosenfeld. I'm the Dean of Campus Life. I'm the Jameson Dorm Head, and I'm also the Boys and Girls Swim Coach, and I teach in the Humanities Department as well.
Great. So Webb families, we're just going to kind of start our chat today. I think one of the great things about orientation when we're able to do it in person is kind of these side conversations that we have. So I wanted to kind of get us started and talk about why is it important for students to maintain balance in an online learning environment, Ken?
Yeah, and I think it's because balance is important in all areas of our life. I mean, when we're online, it simply just becomes more important because the cost of imbalance actually just becomes a little bit higher. Too much time sitting, too much time staring at a screen, too much time pulled from, the real world, the tangible world means not enough time moving, not enough time resting, not enough time, connecting with other people in your surroundings. We're designed to be social. We're not designed to be completely isolated and immobile. So balance allows us to minimize the cost of screen time while maximizing the benefits of a virtual learning experience.
Great. That's awesome to hear about, Ken, and I totally agree with that. So kind of during these times where we've had to kind of stay at home and shelter in place, I think we've all had to kind of adapted the ways and kind of we work and organize kind of our family life at home. So can both of you share some ways in which you have created and kind of maintained a routine during these times?
Yeah, definitely. I am home with my two kids, an 8-year-old who's going to be going into the 3rd grade and a 3-year-old. And so creating a routine has been really, really crucial for us. We have to make sure that we go outside first thing in the morning and get outside and move around, making sure that my 8-year-old has some goals for himself. He's got his brain quest and his piano practice. He's reading a ton, and that the 3-year-old has some of her own activities. And so I can take care of them. And then I have time to sit down and get my stuff done. So we need to make sure that we schedule out blocks. We need to know what's happening during the day, and then fresh air and exercise are absolutely crucial. Ken, how about you?
Well, I got to tell you, I'm on day 90 with my wife. We're doing yoga every single day. And so having that one aspect of your day that that you're going to do helps create a bit of a structure for everything else. And, I've found that having some sort of a quantitative goal that's attainable, that's challenging, that's concrete enough to provide inspiration in moments when you really don't have the motivation is extremely important. And I mean, really what we found is that at this point, we simply do it because we know that skipping a day means that we have to then start back at day one. And, it doesn't really, in the big, picture, it doesn't really impact our health that much to skip a single day after doing like 89 days in a row. But we know that it's that much harder to get back onto something when you're back on day one. So sometimes just having that little something to push you to do what's right is going to push you to do a lot of things that are right.
That's both of you, I agree with kind of what you said. Kind of since going like online, I feel like I just have to wake up and kind of set my intention for the day, right? And I start the day either kind of making my coffee or my tea, and I just have a way that kind of sets the tone for the day, right? And I always feel like going for a walk after lunch, is really great as well. And I've certainly become much more aware of my environment and my apartment complex as well. Like I've noticed kind of like the animals that we had, and kind of for about a 2-week period, there were 2 peacocks that would come, and peacocks don't make really nice noises. So they were my wake up call, but I would like talk to them. I feel like I had a relationship with the peacocks. So it was nice to have something to look forward to. So we've talked about kind of in our webinar a few weeks ago that we're really committed to providing the whole web experience while we're virtual and online. And I think for a lot of new families and students, we've been giving them a lot of information, kind of telling them, Webb is all about creating balance, right? There's a very strong academic program. We're committed to doing co-curricular programs while we're online, and that there's student leadership, there's weekend programming, and we also want to make sure that students have fun. So Susie and Ken, can you tell us a little bit about how you think for new families and students, what's the best way to navigate all the wonderful things that Webb has to offer?
Yeah, like Jen just said, we're really committed to providing a web experience, whether we're online or on person. And for me, as a director of experiential learning, a lot of what my job had turned into was field study and getting students off campus. But it's really made me have to reconsider what is experiential learning and what matters. You know, it's not just getting off campus; it's about making sure that our classes are engaging and dynamic and hands-on and experiential and relevant. And so having to narrow down what that means that we can make sure that all of our classes are like that, not as the exception, but as the rule. And I think that's what we're excited to do across all of our programs, really figure out what matters to us, what makes us Webb, what makes us special and unique. And that's our community, it's our activities, it's chapel, it's advisory, it's our teachers, it's our students pursuing their own interests. And so those are the things that we're going to be able to provide no matter what, because that's what matters to us. The question though, for new families especially, is how do you access those things? And just the general rule is always advisor is the first point of contact. That's the role of the advisor here for students and for parents. For any question you have, anything you don't know, reach out to the advisor, and the advisor will either know the answer or they'll know how to put you in touch with the person who knows it. So never think you need to do anything alone. Never think that any question is wrong. Always reach out to the advisor, and they're going to be able to help you figure out how to navigate the program.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think the best way to gain access to all of this is knowing what's happening. And so keeping your eye on email, keeping your eye on SIS and on Canvas, those are great ways to be able to stay in touch. The deans are going to be doing something fun and new this year where they're going to put out a video at the beginning of every week. It's going to get posted on Sunday, and it's going to list all the opportunities, all the activities that are going to be happening throughout the weeks. That way you know what's coming. And when you see an opportunity that pops up, even if it's not necessarily exactly what it is you normally like to do, show up. You never really know. That's the easiest way to discover a new interest, a new passion, or even just make a new friend, is by saying yes to an opportunity and showing up. Because you know, if it's something that we're putting together here, there's a great possibility that it's going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, even if it doesn't go exactly the way you always envision it would be, great opportunity for new connections and new friends. So just say yes and just show up, whether it's a virtual experience or when we're lucky enough to be back on campus, to show up in person as well.
Okay, so both of you kind of touched upon kind of the importance of the role of the advisor. It's the first point of contact. So let's talk a little bit about kind of, kind of your goals for advisory and what you hope to work on with your group this year. So we'll start with Susie.
I advise WSC 10th graders, and I really love the 10th grade here at Webb. It's the year where you've gotten your feet wet in 9th grade. It's the year before you're really heavily into your electives and your advanced studies and your leadership. And so it's a time for students to figure out who they are and what they want to be doing and how they want to be spending the rest of their time at Webb. And so for that reason, I think some of our big conversations are going to be, how do you lead without a title? How do you put yourself in a position to be a leader? Meaning that you want to be the type of person that people look to. And 10th grade is a great time to start establishing how you're going to be that for people in different ways to get you set up for 11th grade. It's also a new challenge academically. There's some tough classes sophomore year, and so students get to take what they used in the 9th grade core and take it to that next level. So we're going to be working a lot on how do you manage and balance your schedule. We have a pretty structured day at Webb. So we need to make sure that they're using their personalized learning plans, they're using their schedule, they know when they're getting their work done. We're gonna have to do that work in a way that's maybe more intense than we're used to. So those are some of my big goals for them. But also I just wanna make sure that advisory is fun. It's gonna be a hard year, and I wanna make sure they have a place where they can come and connect and relax and laugh and have a good time. My advisees are all big gamers, and so one of my personal goals is to embrace their interest a little bit more and let those things come into advisory. So we already have some plans for playing some Jackbox and some other games. So I'm going to try to embrace that and have a good time with them.
Jackbox is crazy fun. Jackbox is a lot of, we're going to be folding Jackbox into even our weekend activities, that sort of thing. It's a lot it's got a lot of possibilities there. I'm lucky enough to be able to work with ninth graders again. I've been working with 11th and 12th graders for I think the last 8 years or so. But I started out when I first started at Webb 16 years ago, started out on the ninth grade team and worked with them exclusively for about maybe the first 6 or 7 years that I was here. So I'm really excited to become part of the welcoming committee again, and bring the new students in and kind of help them get their sea legs. And the three big goals that I have in regard to what it is that I'm hoping I'm helping them with throughout that first year is developing connections, so connectivity, learning independence, how to navigate the Webb experience on their own, but with us as a support network for them. And like we talked about earlier, how to find balance, particularly, in the virtual experience, but even when we're back in person, finding that balance is going to be something that's going to be an essential. It's a necessity as well. So as far as goal setting is concerned, I definitely am a big believer that goals should be set collaboratively, that they need to be set together rather than imposed upon anyone. And so our first advisory is going to be about welcoming everyone, but also talking about what our goals as an advisory are going to be. And then I'm going to have one-on-one meetings with my individual advisees where we're going to set those independent individual goals. So that way I know what it is that they're nervous about and what is we can do to get them on the right track and get them rolling. So that way when they're in their sophomore year, junior year, and senior year, it's, they're in a good place. They're ready for everything.
Great. Thank you both so much for joining me today on Zoom to chat about balance and creating and maintaining routine. And for the Webb families, we hope you've been enjoying all the orientation programming that we've been offering you. And as you can see from Ken and Susie, there's many layers of support at Webb. So if you have a question, please reach out to us and we'll do our best to answer your questions or connect you to the people that can help you. Bye.